Hello friends, I am Himanshu Tripathi, Incubation Head at Hitech Incubation Center, which is being supported by Hitech Institute of Engineering and Technology, Ghaziabad. Today we are going to start our three webinar series on human aspirations, that is continuous happiness and prosperity. And in this webinar series, we are going to conduct our first session with Dr. Gajendra Singh on happiness and prosperity. Dr. Gajendra Singh is presently working as a Dean Value Education at Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. And it is my honor to introduce Dr. Singh because he is my teacher and one of most valuable mentor in my life. Dr. Gajendra Singh has graduated from IIT Roorkee in 1976. He has completed his MTech from IIT Kharagpur and PhD from IIT Delhi. He has served 28 years in the Indian Air Force, and during his service tenure, he has got Vishisht Seva Medal from Honorable President of India. From last 16 years, he is in academic field, and he also is a part of a national team of AICTE for the training purpose of director, dean, faculty members of various engineering universities and affiliated colleges across the country in the area of value education. So I would like to invite Dr. Gajendra Singh to continue his session.
Of happiness and prosperity. Now, that is what is our desire. That is what we want to be. But what is the state? Where we are? Are we happy? Are we prosperous? And is there a continuity of our happiness and prosperity? Are we continuously happy? Are we having the feeling of prosperity continuously? That is what where we are. If answer is yes, then there is no meaning of having this talk. But there is a question mark, then there was a need to have a talk like this. Then there has to be something, there is some gap. How this gap can be bridged, that is what is the talk. Why this gap? Between our desires and our state of being, between what we really want to be and what we are. Why this situation is there? What are we doing to fill this gap? Is it getting filled up or getting wider? Let's explore this. Now, I introduce the word physical facility. Physical facility is all kinds of things: the house, the clothes, the car, the television, the mobile, the computer, the shoes, the clothes. These are all physical facilities because they are made from some of the elements available in the nature. These are the physical facilities: the house, car, mobile, bike, or many things like medicines, refrigerator, the stove, all these things, shoes, clothes, all these are physical facilities. The food, when an animal has lack of physical facility, it becomes uncomfortable. For an animal, most important physical facility is the food. So when the animal feels hungry, it becomes uncomfortable. But when it gets that physical facility, that food, it becomes comfortable. For example, when a cow gets a stomach full of grass, it becomes comfortable and sits. Maybe it may start doing cutting, that it starts munching it, or jugali, what we call it in Hindi. So it cuts and sits. After that, you give any kind of green grass to the cow, it will not accept. This is an important feature to be noted as a difference between the human being and animal being. For animal, physical facility is necessary because food is necessary for animal, and when it doesn't have that food, then it feels uncomfortable. But when the food is made available, after that it eats it, it's satisfied. Now, when a human being has lack of physical facility, he also becomes uncomfortable and unhappy. But once he gets this physical facility, he forgets about it and he starts thinking about 100 other things. Okay, example. This check for yourself. If you feel happy every day that you are getting enough to eat. Food is one of the basic need for the animal as well as for the human being. It's necessary. For both animals and human being, it's necessary. But when animal gets it, it feels satisfied and forgets about it. Till the time feels hungry again. Now, check for yourself. You feel happy every day that you get enough to eat. In fact, you don't even remember. We don't even remember that every day the food is made available to us and we are. Because if you take this analogy to anything, you have bought a car. You invested your money in best of the machine available in front of you. Considering the position in the society, considering everything, you took loan also in fact, because you had desire to have a bigger car, little more expensive car than your which you could pay directly from your savings. So you took loan also. But a year later, when another model came, or maybe at cheaper price sometimes. So when that car moved away, your heart also went away with it. So after that you feel, no, I should have a bigger car now. Or when you had an apartment, one bedroom apartment, after some time you feel, no, I should move over to, because you aspired for it in the beginning, but later, after some time, when you acquired it, now somebody said, hey, minimum 2 bedroom flat is the necessity. In fact, there was no demand from any of the family member. But one of the friends said, it is easily available. There is a new project which is coming up in such and such beautiful locality. So let's go for it. So once we get that physical facility which we aspired for, that one room apartment, we forget about it and start thinking about 100 other things. That is what is the basic difference. So check, is the happiness in our families more due to lack of physical facility or more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship? Is it very common in the family, a wife telling her husband that there is an immediate need to upgrade the TV on this wall, that from 32 inch we have to go to 48 inch. Now this is worthless, we are not able to view things nicely. Or the refrigerator of 320 liter needs to be upgraded to 420 liter. We have so much of more material now required to be stored in the refrigerator. So there is every day there is a fight taking place because of lack of physical facility. Or is it lack of fulfillment in relationship, lack of understanding, lack of feelings between the two people, feelings of trust, feeling of respect, feeling of affection, feeling of mutual care? Is lack of that feeling in relationship is the problem, or lack of physical facility is the problem? So is our happiness is because of that? But if the answers are there, if you explore this in you, the next question is going to be, how much time in a day how we spend to fulfill the need of accumulation of physical facility versus amount of time, energy, effort we spend for the fulfillment in relationship. Analyze it at your own level, in your own time, in your own self, that if this third line is the truth, that any kind of problem in the family is due to lack of fulfillment in relationship, then identify how much time, effort and energy is being invested for accumulation of physical facility versus invested in fulfillment in relationship. The answer has to come from within you. Then only you will be able to appreciate what is happening in the family when we are aspiring for happiness, and that too in its continuity. Let's take it forward. Now, the word happiness, I'll come back to this slide once again before conclusion. Happiness. How do you define happiness? define happiness? This is a question. So there are all kinds of notion, there are all kinds of assumptions among different set of people about what is happiness. So I propose to you to look at it this way and verify it. The state or situation in which I live, if there is a harmony, synergy in it, then it is naturally acceptable to me to be in that state or situation. I take an example that you are in a situation with a friend, you're interacting with a friend, and both of you have respect for each other. There is a feeling of mutual respect between you and your friend, and the discussion is going on. Now, see this particular situation when you are interacting. You have met after long gap, and now you are together. You are discussing. You are enjoying some of the past moments also, and so many things you're doing, and you have mutual respect for each other. Now, is this state, would you love to be continuously for more and more and continuously like this with every single person in a state of mutual respect? Yes or no? Explore it. Or, for example, you're angry with someone. Someone could be your colleague, your peer, your subordinate, your spouse, your child, your neighbor. You are totally, in a mood of rage because of some reason, whatever is what had been the situation. Ask yourself, will it be naturally acceptable to you to be in that state continuously? Answer is quite obvious. Let it come from within. I'm sure it is not going to be yes. In the previous case, it is likely to be yes. Unfortunately, I can't interact. If the session would have been long, I could have. But then all these answers have to come from you. That the situation leading to harmony or synergy in such a manner that it is naturally acceptable to be in that state and to be in that state of harmony, that is what is a state of happiness. I feel happy to meet that friend because we have mutual respect for each other. So I love that company. At home, for example, me and my wife, if we have mutual trust and mutual respect, mutual care for each other, I love to have spending time all the time in company of each other. And we love to have continuity in this kind of a situation. But when you have opposition to it, one day there is a respect, other time there is a disrespect, third time there is a anger, fourth time there is a lack of care for each other. There is no continuity, and that is the opposition. So when there is a disharmony or contradiction, then it is not naturally acceptable to me, and that is what is unhappiness. So happiness is to be in a state of harmony, where I am just going to come to you. I like to open all these terms quickly, and because I have just about half an hour, so I'll quickly open these words. So happiness is to be in a state of harmony, and unhappiness is to be forced in a state of contradiction. That is unhappiness. I love to live all the time in a state of harmony, verify it, because it is naturally acceptable to me, while to be forced into a state of contradiction is not naturally acceptable to me. That is what is disharmony, and that is what is unhappiness. But it keeps happening somewhere in our world. It keeps happening day in, day out. So sometimes we feel I am happy, sometimes I feel I am unhappy. So the happiness is to be in a state of harmony. I will come to you what is this harmony. Okay. Another word I would like to introduce here, prosperity. Friends, prosperity is different from being rich. Prosperity is a feeling. It is a feeling of having more than required physical facility. Ambani brothers, the Mukesh Ambani, Anil Ambani, about 6 years back, they were fighting in court for 20,000 crore. Both of them have assets of more than 5 lakh crore. I haven't seen even a crore. They had 5 lakh crore. But they were fighting for 20,000 crore. That if I get this 20,000 crore, I will feel more rich. But what about prosperity? Prosperity is a feeling, it's not quantity. If I have a feeling that I have 6 shirts, one for one day, Sunday I wash them, iron them, and for next 6 days again I have these 6 shirts. So if I get the seventh shirt as a gift, the oldest shirt I give to my mali or give to some other needy. So I'm very comfortable. So the day I have this feeling that I have more than required, that is what is prosperity. Prosperity is not in quantity, it is not in accumulation. Prosperity is a feeling that I have more than required physical facility, more than required. So this is a feeling, this is a bhav, this is a feeling. So when you develop this feeling, you feel prosperous. Any amount of kept in the bank or any amount of physical facility which is accumulated is not going to make you feel prosperous. It will continuously keep giving you the feeling of deprivation if you do not understand that it is not in the quantity, it is in the feeling. So prosperity is a feeling that I have more than enough. How much human being has to make a decision for himself. Otherwise, you keep accumulating. It is exactly like keep pouring in a cup any amount of tea. If it hasn't got a bottom, it will never be filled. This is what is going to happen, and it is happening in the lives of many of us, that we are continuously accumulating without developing this feeling of prosperity or feeling of having more than required. So friends, I sum up by saying that basic human aspiration is continuous happiness and prosperity, and happiness is to be in a state of harmony, while prosperity is the feeling of having more than required physical facility. Happiness is to be in a state of harmony, and prosperity is the feeling of having more than required physical facility. Friends, look at this diagram. I have written here right understanding, relationship, physical facility. These three blocks are visible to you. Now, I have already given the priority 1, 2, 3. So I will quickly go over this. I'll explain more about right understanding. What exactly does it mean? But let me talk about physical facility first, because this is visible to us all the time. Physical facility, as I stated, is all physical items which have no life, like my car, my computer, my laptop, my a refrigerator, my television set, my mobile, my furniture, my clothes, my food. All this is physical facility. Now, if you see the red block here for animals, necessary and adequate. So food is made available to a lion, it fills its stomach and leaves whatever is remnant is for others. It doesn't carry it into his den. For a human being, also it is necessary but not adequate. This is the characteristic of physical facility. Generally, all human beings feel it is not adequate because I want to look for my security for few hundred years. In fact, all the time, all of us have some fear. All the time some fear that what will happen in future. But if you really analyze, explore, you will know most of the fears never came true. So we have to see to it that you put the bottom to your cup where you are putting the tea. Then only one day or other it will get filled and you will feel prosperous. That feeling will come only when you put the bottom to that cup. But if you have bottomless cup, it can never be filled. So this is what provides, if you have this understanding, then it leads to mutual prosperity. Prosperity of every single human being on the planet, because planet has got so much available to meet the requirement needs of everybody, but not the greeds of everybody. The planet has enough to provide the cater for the needs of every single human being and living beings like animals. But it cannot suffice for the needs of the for greeds of the people. So you have to understand, you decide what are your needs and put a bottom. The day this bottom is known to you, the feeling of prosperity moves in, and that's what leads to mutual prosperity. Relationship, friends, in Hindi, if I use this statement, संबंध के भाव का अभाव ही जीवन में दुख का कारण है. The lack of feeling of relationship between the people is the root cause of unhappiness in the lives of human race. And what is this relationship? I will open it again. So when you understand that relationship is more important than physical facility, take an example. Food is a physical facility. Now, in a particular room, there are two people. In a particular room, there are two people. And these two people are not related to each other at all. They don't know each other. There's no relationship. And after some time, both of them are feeling very hungry. And little amount or quantity of food, or maybe for two people only one meal is provided, is just placed in that room. My question will be, who gets the meal? If both of them are not related to each other, there is no relationship between these two, what happens? Answer from you, I will get the stronger is the person will get the meal, because there is no relationship between them. The stronger the person will get the meal. But my next question is, if in that room, these two people happen to be mother and child, who gets the meal? Answer is obvious. Even I don't have to ask you. Or there are two friends. Who gets the meal? Both will share. If they are relative, they will share. Many times you might have seen the video clips in a flooded area. The helicopter is dropping food packets. You see, the people are just running along with the helicopter, and there are few people, strong, young, they are climbing on top of the shoulders of other people and picking up that food packet. Do these people, the 4 or 5 who have picked up two packets or three packets, and they share it with others, or they run away? So physical facility and relationship, please understand that if we have the relationship, that provides us a mutual fulfillment, mutual happiness, because there is a feeling involved in relationship, feeling of trust, respect, care, guidance, affection. Such feelings are there in relationship. So physical facility is necessary, but it has got lower place if you have the right understanding. If you have the right understanding, then it moves to the third place. The relationship is more. So what is happening? Why this cause of problem in the families, that we are not able to live with happiness continuously? Because focus is all the time at only third position, which is only and only for animal. Animal is not interested in relationship or any understanding. Animal wants only physical facility, the food. If we are living only at this place, then it is the animal consciousness. But if we live with this kind of consciousness, then it is human consciousness. And this is what is required, basically. That from this animal consciousness, from bottom, we have to move to the top position where we have the right understanding, and with right understanding, we understand the importance of relationship and limitation, very needed physical facility, not unlimited accumulation of facilities. So there is a need for transformation, and this is possible with the help of right education and sanskar. That is what is required to be done. Okay. Now, I have coined the word understanding and harmony. So, because I said the happiness is to be in a state of harmony. Harmony means what? And what is this right understanding? So let me just quickly go over this. being living with human consciousness. The blue circle, if all the three things are there in this circle, that is what is living with human consciousness. But if it is only this blue, the physical facility, that is what is living with animal consciousness. So when I say right understanding means understanding harmony. Harmony at the level of me as an individual, human being, individual. Harmony in family, harmony in society, harmony in nature and entire existence. So harmony, if harmony is understood and I align my program, my activities, my conduct, my behavior, my actions in alignment and assuring this harmony in myself, harmony in family, harmony in society, harmony in nature. In that case, it is going to lead to mutual happiness and mutual prosperity. So I'll quickly open up these states. I urge all the participants to pay attention here if you have not attended this concept thing. My proposal is human being, me as a human being, when I define myself as a living being, I can visualize myself as two separate entities. Two separate entities. One is consciousness, other is material. They are in coexistence with each other. They don't live in each other. They coexist in space with each other. Coexist as separate two units, two entities. One is consciousness, other is pure material. But there is a coexistence so far as I am alive. Once this coexistence is over, body as a material needs to be disposed of. But so far as this coexistence is there, I am defined as a living being. Now, this can be explored further. This can be verified further. For example, if I say, what is the need of this conscious part and what is the need of the material part? Need of the material part, we can understand, appreciate it very clearly, that food, clothes, shelter, all these things, these are all physical facilities which are required for the body. And do they require permanently, continuously? No. If I ask this question, if food is a need, so when I'm feeling hungry, I take food. That food, once the food is finished, my hunger is gone, I discontinue. May I request the people to kindly mute their mic? May I request participants to kindly mute their mic? May I request participants to kindly mute their mic? I'm getting a lot of background noise. Thank you. So, physical facility, is it, am I audible? Okay. Himanshu ji? Anybody from the panel? Okay, fine. So, physical facility, like food. When I feel hungry, I take food. That hunger is gone. It is not that I continuously keep taking food. So, or if my body is tired, I go to sleep. I wake up again. So there is no continuity as far as the needs of the body is concerned. When I feel thirsty, I take water, but I do not continue to keep taking water. When I am feeling cold, I put on a coat or sweater or some woolen cloth, and that is not necessarily I continue keep putting one after other. No. So this need of the body is temporary. Even for that matter, when we use air for our survival, air, sometimes it gives us a feeling that we continuous need. No, we inhale and then we stop. We exhale and again we inhale. So there is no continuity for the need of the body, and it is quantitative. It is not. It can be identified. 2 chapatis, 4 breads, a liter of milk or half liter of milk. So, or 1 car, 2 car. You do not want to have 50,000 cars, to be used. So it is quantifiable. The need of the body are quantifiable. Now look at the need of the self, the consciousness. Because when we say myself, you define yourself myself. So what is that self? That self is consciousness. You don't say my body. Sometimes you say I myself is feeling very happy. You don't say my body is feeling very happy today. So that self, that consciousness, in time it is continuous. What is the need? Feelings like happiness, feelings like respect. Feeling like respect is a need of the consciousness. And in time, it is continuous. It is 24 hours. It is all the 7 days of the week, all the 12 months of the year, and year after year, throughout life. Even a young child of 2 years, it is continuously there. A child is making noise in the drawing room when some guests are already there. The parents are entertaining the guests. So father suddenly shouts, sit down. The child looks at the father, feels scared, and sits down. But he feels humiliated, and inside him, he continues to stand. And he expresses it sometime later. So, every single self, irrespective of age or place, has this continuous need of respect. Feelings like respect is just only example I have written. In quantity, it is qualitative. It's there or it's not there. It is not that today I want to buy 1 liter of happiness or 1 kg of respect. It is there or it is not there. Either you are respected or you are disrespected, humiliated. So it is qualitative in nature. Now, they are fulfilled by what? In case of body's need, they are fulfilled by physiochemical things like food, clothes, these are all physiochemical things. But in case of self, the consciousness, these are fulfilled by right understanding and right feelings. I'll quickly come to what exactly does it mean. Okay. And what are the activities? Activities of the self and activities of body are totally different. Eating, walking, sleeping, talking, all these are the activities of the body. But what is your inner self? What is your inner world? That is where is the consciousness, where all the time desire, thought, expectations are going on. This is the imagination, which is continuously there all the 24 hours, even when you are sleeping. Even when you are sleeping, it is going on. Even in a crowded place, in a marriage party, if you are sleeping in a big hall among the crowd of 25, 30 people, and somebody wants to wake you up and shouts your name, the crowd doesn't wake up. Crowd doesn't wake up. Who wakes up? You wake up. So this desire, thought, expectations in your imagination is all the time going on. It is continuous. While the activities of the body are temporary. When you eat, you don't continue eating. When you start walking, you don't continuously keep walking. It is temporary. But in case of the activity of the consciousness of the self, they are continuous in nature, desire, thought, expectations. And I'll just explain it further. Yeah, here it is. Desire, thought, expectations. Friends, each one of us have this ability all the time. What is happening in our imagination? Yeah. This is what is content of imagination, which is all the time going on. Take an example, coming back from the college, you got some harsh words from your head of the department or the director or from the management, and you are driving back home. You felt in your thoughts that it is not justified what humiliation he gave me, the disrespect with which the director or the management or my head of the department treated me. It is totally unfair. It is unjust. So what is happening? When you are driving all the time, there is some dialogue which is going on. You are driving car, you are not talking to anyone. But in your imagination, some dialogue is going on all the time of resentment. Okay, some resentment is going on all the time. So this thought which is going on, where it is happening? It is happening in that consciousness. It is not happening in the body. Body is engaged in driving the car. But in your imagination, those inner dialogue is all the time going on. This is what I am referring to, imagination. Now, the happiness depends upon what is going on here. in your imagination. So you can see two red things, preconditioning and in the bottom side sensation. In our body, this topic requires a little more elaboration, but some other time we will take up this. But I just want to introduce and say that if your desire, thought, and expectations are motivated from preconditioning or from sensations, you are bound to have a very disturbing outcome. But if desired thought expectations are in alignment with the self-verification on the basis of your natural acceptance, there will be a definiteness in your conduct in every single situation which you encounter in the external environment. Because this is your inner environment. Your inner environment, if it gets aligned with the natural acceptance, if all inputs which you are receiving from the environment, you verify it at the level of your natural acceptance, and that controls your behavior and work, which is in the bottom side, two arrows are there, then there is going to be a definiteness in your conduct and work. And this is what is going to lead to harmony at the level of your own self. Harmony in your desires, harmony in your thoughts and expectations, harmony in your inner world, inner dialogue, which is all the time going on in self, which is the consciousness. So these two are different. Body is different. Body, for example, need of the body. Mother keeps fast on Monday. Monday she doesn't feel even hungry. She's cooking all kinds of beautiful food for others. But she doesn't feel hungry because she knows today I have taken a decision in myself not to touch food, not to eat food. She doesn't feel hungry. Body keeps giving signals, but they are not registered. Self has already taken a decision not to take food that day. So the consciousness, what is going on in the imagination, that controls the quality of life, not quality of living. Quality of living is the physical facility, big car, big house, expensive clothes, all kinds of things, living. But aspiration is quality of life, the continuity in happiness and continuity of prosperity. That is what is the aspiration. Now, I will quickly just say, when I say that relationship, if you have this understanding that if my desired thought expectations in the self are aligned with the natural acceptance, then I live in harmony. So what is this harmony in the family? Relationship is between one self to other self. Relationship is not between the bodies even. Some young people, or for that matter, husband, wife, will feel that the relationship is between body and body. No. If that would have been the case, the old couples would have got separated long ago. It is between one self to the other self. And in this kind of relationship, there are feelings. And these feelings can be recognized, which are listed here as 9. Their fulfillment and right evaluation leads to mutual happiness. That is what their trust, respect, affection, care, guidance, reverence, glory, gratitude, and love. The trust and respect are scheduled to be spoken tomorrow in this workshop. So the other speaker is going to open it up and take it forward from here. But what I have stated so far, I have only 5 minutes to take some questions, because it's a very elaborate topic, because the aspiration of every single human being, so 7 billion people's aspiration is the same, but how many, what percentage is living in misery and how many are living with continuous happiness, we ourselves can explore. So it's a vast topic, but this is the direction to experience what I have just stated. So in fact, majority of the things I have not said anywhere, do it, do or don't do it. I have just given some proposals to be explored and verified at your own level. Ask yourself, because my inner world decides continuity of my happiness and continuity of my prosperity. Now, the last slide I'm just going to say here, this is my last slide. Evaluation of current situation is gross misunderstanding. Human being is coexistence, self and body, and need of the self is feelings like respect, and this is continuous. Where the problem is taking place, the need of the self is trying to be fulfilled by the need of the body. like a car. Car is the need of the body. House is the need of the body. So what is happening in us is we have started presuming by preconditioning that bigger house I have, I will earn respect. Respect is the need of the self. But house is the need of the body. Car is the need of the body. Clothes is the need of the body for its protection. But from these physical facilities, which are meant for satisfying the need of the body, when we want to satisfy the need of self, like respect, that is the root cause of misery. That is the root cause of unhappiness because it will never be possible. In fact, it may happen sometimes on the contrary. You have bought a very big car, very expensive car, other person may think he is doing some 400 BC or some smuggling he has started doing, or he is earning something. Being a associate professor, he can never afford to have such kind of luxury car. In fact, it may happen other way around. You are looking for respect, you will start earning disrespect. Because that was the need of the body. So when we develop this gross misunderstanding of satisfying the need of self by those things which are meant for the needs of the body, that is where the problem lies. So what you do, you start accumulating more and more physical facility, unlimited. So there is a small circle provided here. We start making more and more effort for accumulation of physical facility, and that remains unlimited. And it remains unlimited because continuously there is a feeling of deprivation because we have not put that bottom in the cup. So we feel more is required. So we feel poverty stricken. So we exploit the other person, we exploit the nature, we exploit the subordinate, we exploit the senior, we exploit the neighbor, we exploit the organization, society, and this is what is happening. And never it is leading to where the need of the self is satisfied. So here I end, friends.
Friends, I hope you enjoyed our today's session. If in case if you have any query, please feel free to write us at ietc@hit.org, or you can visit us on our YouTube channel. Also, you can visit us on our website, that is hit.org. If you want to connect with the speaker of the day, you can write us your request and we'll try our level best to connect you with them. Thank you very much for being here.